Is that what you're looking for? Those kinds of like
I
just
don't know what I'm
attack?
looking for. I'm trying to
I don't
find
even. I.
something.
Why are
This
you
this
asking
this
me to help
bait
you find what you're looking for if you don't know what you're
because
looking for?
this bait idea just came up in my head during this conversation, and so I haven't had a chance to think it through.
Okay, that's fair. This is a high quality video.
Hello, friends. Robert Bevan here, author of the Caverns and Creatures series of comedy, fantasy novels, and short stories. With me is Sam West, and today we're talking about the feat Second Chance.
Dodged out of the way of an attack that was going to hit me. This is a cute little feat for halflings, and more than like what it does, I think it introduced technology that God, I wish they would use ever again. So, as I just said, pre-back for halflings, it's a feat. Fortune favors you when someone tries to strike you. You gain the following benefits: increase your Dex, Con, or Charisma score by 1 to a max of 20. High floor on this thing. Hard to
Sure.
go wrong. We also get this ability. When a creature you can see hits you with an attack roll, you can use your reaction to force the creature to reroll. Once you use this ability, you can't use it again until you roll initiative at the start of combat, or until you finish a short or long rest.
Question. All right. How does that last bit matter? Like,
How do you mean?
all right. You can roll this at the beginning of every time you roll initiative in combat.
Yes.
All right. So why do we need to know, or if you finish a short or long rest? How is that going
If
to come up?
you could be attacked outside of initiative. That can occur.
Okay.
And this would give you a way to force the reroll if you're attacked out of initiative.
So
It doesn't happen
it
often, but it can occur.
almost doesn't matter. All right. I was thinking
Almost doesn't.
like I was thinking you'd have to like be in a fight and resting during it, and the fight goes on for over an hour.
No, no, no,
Yeah,
no, no.
okay.
This is encounter powers from 4th edition brought back with a new fresh coat of paint, and they removed all the convenience of calling them encounter powers, which is a shame because that was a good nomenclature and very clear of how that worked in the format of a game. It's a tragedy that all of 4th edition got thrown in the bin after its disastrous reception because there were some good ideas there. This is one such good idea. Now we get to listen to a whole sentence of words instead of seeing the phrase encounter power at the start of this. But that's just how it be. As is, this thing probably isn't enough. It's close, but I don't see me putting this on any character sheets really, just because I don't like if I'm playing like a halfling paladin or a halfling fighter, I don't I don't see like I have room for this. If I have the ability to bump my 17 to an 18 and I could take Piercer, Slasher, or Crusher, all of those might be more appealing to me given my build. I could, just take the 2 points in the ASI if I needed to, or I could take feats that matter for my build. So like when I fit this on my sheet is a big old question mark to me.
Well, I mean, it will come up like every fight.
Yeah. One reaction to reroll a hit is
You
decent.
could still get hit.
Yeah, you still could get hit. But a notable thing, it will apply the advantage and disadvantage again. So like if they have advantage attacking you, they connect. If they make the attack again, they will have advantage again. I believe.
Mhm.
So because they reroll the entirety of the roll,
Right.
mods and all. So it doesn't help you against advantage attack rolls. It is a lot better against disadvantage attack rolls because again, it's
Yeah,
kind of like a
sure.
super disadvantage where they have disadvantage twice. But what realistic character wants this? Rogues don't want this, right? Do spellcasters want this? I don't think so. Which leaves it just the con bump or the dex bump for like rangers, maybe. Maybe you're doing this on a monk, but I don't really want defensive feats on my monks if I can help it. So I'm usually just trying to be relevant with damage and abilities.
Fighter, because you get some extra feats. I don't
Dex
know.
bait fighter, maybe. Maybe this is like the 4th feat you take. And then it's a decent reaction you have over and over again. Just like every fight, I block 1 hit-ish. That seems fine. It really is narrowed into the strength or con though, and neither of those are often ones that the martial classes are sticking at their primary unless you're like ranged. And if you're ranged, I sure don't want this on my character sheet. If I'm ranged, I don't want a feat that might not do anything in fights because I'm not trying to get hit.
Yeah. Um, I don't know.
To
It feels
me,
like a watered down version of Lucky. So, like, if this is the kind of thing you value, take Lucky.
yeah, there's a good chance Lucky's bad at your table, and if that's the case, this could be an option, but it's so much more narrow. Like it's once per fight, rerolling a hit is a lot more narrow than 3 times per adventure, reroll whatever you want.
Yes.
Like the one thing is way better than this is. This I think is kind of comparable to like a once per fight shield but that's probably still better than this. So like if I'm taking
Yeah, because shield that'll block a bunch of attacks if
the
you're
plus 5
getting
AC it
attacked a lot.
does.
Yeah.
Yeah. Silvery Barbs is kind of like what this is, like a once, but it's worse than that too. This is every fight though. If you're going through a gauntlet of dungeons and just it's a encounter after encounter after encounter, this will have a little bit more juice than if you're doing the once per long rest big cinematic fights that are becoming more and more popular. In the modern gaming world, I don't see this having a home on any character sheet for that reason. Like I don't want a feat that is one use of a worse shield once per like my entirety of every fight we're gonna have is gonna be per long rest. So I might as well have something that gives me a long rest resource, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. This feels out of place for how the game is played. If I think there were more features like this, we would see more encounters between rests. But people like using their abilities, and you don't like it's not as fun to play restrictive and responsive for a lot of people and just say, well, I'm not going to cast this because I might need it later. That's leads to encounters being once per long rest, and that makes second chance not really have a home anywhere, I don't think. Like, would you put this on a character sheet?
Probably not, just because I mean, I'd feel good about using it if I did, but like, there's just so many options. And I think you said before, I want I want feats that let me do stuff, and this just allows me to maybe not get hit sometimes.
Yeah, this
But I
affects
don't.
how things do. This affects how creatures do stuff to you, not
Yeah.
how you do stuff to other creatures, right? This is a reactive kind of feed, which I rate lower. I rate most features that don't give me proactivity lower than once, like,
All right. What about if you were making a build and the whole gimmick behind it was like somebody that just doesn't get hit? Would this be part of that?
I probably looking at a character that's objective is having mid 30 AC, so no. Like I just need every single way under the sun to stack AC as high as it possibly can. I don't see being a halfling fitting into that.
That's
Like
true.
if I have room for feats at that point, it sure isn't going to be on second chance. It's sure going to be on lucky and other things. It's going to be
Yeah.
getting level dips into wizard for portent. Like it's going to be like hyper dice manipulation stuff. I don't see a world where second chance is fitting onto that sheet.
All right. How about this as bait? Like, all right, you see the big armor artificer. I'm pretty sure I'm not going to be able to hit him. I'm not going to be able to land a hit. Instead, I'm going to go attack that little halfling guy. Ah, shucks. Or oh yeah, I hit. Oh wait, shucks. No, I didn't. That halfling just wasted your turn.
Wasted an attack in your turn.
Yes.
I'm not sold. I
No.
don't think that's relevant. I really don't. They'll either go, I missed this one attack, darn it, and attack you again next turn, or like I don't know what play pattern changes, like how this helps that character
All right.
more than the
I'm just
frontline tank.
thinking of is there anything else you could put on a bait build
What is the objective of that build?
to attract attacks and make people waste their turns?
Like a frontline tank does. By having high
Yes, but
AC, high hit points, all that fun stuff.
I know that doesn't attract it. That kind of forces attacks. I'm talking about like tricking people into attacking you, lulling them into a false sense of security. The bait.
I don't I don't think that's a very well supported play style. And I think there's a reason why. And it seems challenging to be useful, right? Because the moment things recognize that you're not doing damage and are instead investing in feats that make you evasive, they'll kill other things first, or at least try to. Like at least tanks put out enough of a threat because they have Divine Smite, because they're barbarians raging and cutting things in half. Like things kind of are drawn to want to try to kill them. If your objective is to be annoying and poke at things and run away and dodge backwards, they can go,
I'm,
I'm not going to chase you, and then they turn to the
no,
guy to your left and kick him in the nuts.
all right, still not good. I'm thinking more like Bugs Bunny in a dress.
I don't think you get it. What's the point of that?
There, if there were more, that's why I asked you before. Is there anything else that would support that kind of thing? If you piled enough stuff together, then I think I could come up with a point, but I don't think there is.
Like silvery barbs? Like, is that what you're looking for? Those kinds of like
I
just
don't know what I'm
attack?
looking for. I'm trying to
I don't
find
even. I,
something.
why are
This
you
this
asking
this
me to help
bait
you find what you're looking for if you don't know what you're
because
looking for?
this bait idea just came up in my head during this conversation, and so I haven't had a chance to think it through.
Okay, that's fair. This is a high quality video. I'm gonna give this a 2 out of 5. I don't think it's unusable. I think there are gonna be a handful of halflings that have enough fun with it, especially if they're frontline rangers, if they're frontline monks. That's probably where this has the most home. Maybe you're like some kind of off build weird hybrid sword sorcery sorcerer and you want the charisma buff. Maybe you're a warlock that's going blade lock and wants an extra free block. I could see this being a relatively cheap feat to get, but it's not going to be anything I think builds are reaching for, and I don't think it's a reason to play halfling.
All right. Ultimate lucky build. You take this and lucky.
And halfling luck. And you just get
Yeah.
all of it.
Yeah. Well, but you mean bountiful luck?
Yeah, that one. Sorry. And
That's
you go
that's
Portent
spreading
Wizard.
luck on your friends. I don't want that. I want luck all to myself.
Sure. You still go Portent Wizard, and then you get your nice, or Diviner Wizard that gets Portent, and then you get your nice 3 dice that you get to augment to, and you be like, I control dice. That's all this character does, and they are super busted for that reason, actually. It is a very low bar to clear. If you put Lucky and Portent on your sheet, you're going to have a good time.
Yeah.
Why roll when you can just pick the
and
numbers?
second chance.
Yeah.
There. Now.
That one definitely is the lowest, least impactful member of that triad, but sure.
Well, yeah, but it's still going to come up. You're going to take hits every once in a while.
Then
So
you can be like,
this will be useful. Then you save your lucky for other things.
there will be the really cute interaction, right? Where like someone attacks you, and they would connect, and you go re-roll it, and then you go, it's still gonna hit me. All right, I'm gonna Portent it, so it's this dice instead. That's kind of funny. Just to make sure, like, even if they were to hit you 2 times in a row, you can still have just layers and layers and layers of protection.
I think I'm going to go 3 on this one, just because it does give you a ability score boost, and I don't know. Perhaps I'm a sucker here, but I feel like something you're going to be able to use every combat can't be all that bad.
If you're attacked like 8 times in an encounter, this adjusts one of them, though, right?
Excuse me.
Like,
yeah, I get it.
In the low tiers, maybe it's good-ish, but that's when I would have the least room for it. And in the upper tiers, it's comparatively worse and worse and worse and worse. So that's where I'm like, I don't really get it, but maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, maybe I'm irresponsible. That's fine. I think everybody knows that by now.
Fair. Commenters, let us know if you've had success with this, if you ever played it, if you want to play it, if you want to play halfling that is the luckiest halfling that ever was, or if you have a better concept for the bait character.
Yes.
What that means, I still am not entirely sure, but you know.
Yeah, please let us know. Let me know what I'm talking about. All right. That was Second Chance. Thank you, Sam. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. Leave comments below, like, subscribe. We'll see you next time. Goodbye.